I've always wondered why villagers give me certain gifts, why I mostly receive clothing items, and some very questionable gifts, or if it just feels that way. In today's video, I'm going to track what gifts my villagers give me for 7 days. Then I'm going to determine what percentage of gifts were clothing, furniture, wallpaper, or flooring. I am doing this out of pure curiosity to see whether I'm actually being a little bit dramatic with the quality of gifts I receive from villagers. I have been using 3 non-native fruits as gifts to my villagers. For most of this video, I used coconuts. This is because they are easier to come by and they are also worth a decent amount of friendship points if you're aiming to receive a gift in return and eventually your villager's photo. First, I gathered all the coconuts and wrapped all the gifts, which also gives you an extra friendship point. Once I had all 10 gifts, it was time to find each villager, which was hands down the most annoying part of this process. The first villager I found was Diva, and she gave me a green flower print wall in return. I do like this wallpaper, so I'd say this was a good gift compared to others. After searching for a little bit, the next villager I found was Blue Bear, and after gifting her the coconut, she gave me a diner chair. I probably won't use this item, but it was still one of the better gifts on average that I've received. Next up, I gifted Zoe, and she gifted me a down ski jacket. I actually love this jacket for winter, and I've been wearing it ever since she gifted it to me, so I'd say this one was also pretty good. After Zoe, I found Ketchup, and she gifted me fragrance sticks. It was at this point that I realized the gifts today were probably the best I've ever gotten from villagers, and as the days go on, you'll realize why. Next up was Drago, and he gifted me a kid's smock, and again, compared to other gifts I've gotten, this gift was not bad. Funnily enough, Apple also gifted me a kid's smock, but it was in a different color at least, so that was okay. Next was Diana, and she gifted me a fragrance diffuser, which is also a great gift. Sherb gave me a track jacket, which I thought was going to be the worst gift of the day, but I was surprised by how much I liked the colors. Next was the actual worst gift of the day, which was from Tangy. It wasn't the worst ever, but I will probably never wear this. Last but not least, Antonio gave me a chalkboard, which I was the most surprised about just because of the size of the item. This was everything from day 1, and overall I'd rate this a 9.5 out of 10, very little room for improvement, which I am nervous about. It's day 2 and I got all my gifts ready to go. The first villager of the day was Sherb, and he gave me a jumper work suit, which I did not really love. So for this next one, I actually was in disbelief there for a second. Diva gave me a dirt clawed wall, which is kind of crazy of her. Next, Drago gifted me a delivery jacket, which I also probably will not use. Compared to some other gifts I've got today, Antonio's is not that bad, potentially useful for the summer season. Next up is Ketchup, and she gifted me a twisted hachimaki. I did end up keeping this item, but I have received a lot of them over the years from villagers. Blue Bear gifted me a sea globe. She gets bonus points for this because it is rare for me to get items instead of clothing. So he gave me a gown coat, which is another disappointing clothing item that I will not use. Next, Apple gifted me a rain hat. Usually I don't love receiving hats, but these are probably up there as one of my favorites. Diana gifted me a wrestler uniform, which is probably the worst gift I received today. Very disappointed in her. On day 2, we're finishing with the best for last, which is the book stands I received from Tangy. A great item I will definitely use. Now we're on day 3 and I got my presents ready. The first villager I gifted was Zoe, and she gave me a jumper work suit, so we aren't getting off to the greatest start. Next, Drago gave me a delivery jacket, which is exactly what he gave me yesterday, but it was a different color, so I guess I'll let it slide. Ketchup gifted me a cook cap with logo, and I thought I wasn't going to like it, but once I placed it, I actually thought it was kind of cute and could be useful when I'm cooking. I gifted Sherb some peaches, and he gifted me a puffy vest, which I will gladly take. Next, Tangy gifted me a baby romper, which I am not really impressed with, and will be selling this for some bills immediately. Blue Bear gifted me a bathrobe, which I guess is not the worst thing I've received, but it's also not a great gift. Antonio unfortunately gave me a safety helmet, which kind of sucks, and it wasn't even in a good color. Diana gifted me a ballet outfit, which is another mediocre gift. And yet another mediocre gift from Apple, which was a box skirt uniform. I'm already getting tired of the clothing gifts. And for the final gift of the day, Diva gifted me a windbreaker, which again isn't the worst thing I've received and probably one of the better gifts I got today. Now we are officially on day 4, and the first villager I gifted today was Tangy, who gave me a sweatshirt, which I thought was very cute. Random note, but today I'm also using some other fruits because I got a Captain Island with some oranges on it. Anyways, Bluebear gifted me a dreamy dress, which is another good gift. The cute streak was ruined when Diva gifted me a skateboarding helmet, which is something I won't get use out of. Next, Sherb gifted me cork flooring, which was interesting, but I don't have this flooring yet, so I will keep it. I think on this day I must have run out of coconuts because I was also gifting some vegetables, but Drago gifted me a dress shirt, which I did not mind at all and thought was really cute. Ketchup gifted me a rattan towel basket, which is amazing because I rarely get items and furniture, so this was a nice surprise. Next, Apple gifted me a patchwork coat, which I loved and is probably one of my favorite gifts I received so far. This day was actually Zoe's birthday, and villagers will send you a thank you gift in the mail if you gift them on their birthday. So the next day, Zoe sent me a ballet outfit, which I forgot to get a video of. Antonio gifted me a wrestler uniform, which is on brand for him, but a little bit disappointing for me. The last gift of day 4 was from Diana, and after searching for her forever, she gave me a layered polo shirt, which was an okay gift. And here are all the day 4 gifts laid out. Starting off very strong on day 5, Diana gifted me a macrame tapestry, which was a great gift and I'm so happy about that. Next, Tangy gifted me a heart hairpin, which was kind of hard to see in the dark, but it was like an okay gift. Sherb gave me another furniture item, which was the mantis head model, which I thought actually went really well with this room. And Antonio gifted me a faux fur hat, which was okay. I don't think I've ever owned this item before. Ketchup gifted me a simple parka, which is another item I received from villagers a lot. Next up was Zoe, and she gifted me a fitness tank, and I'm not a big fan of this one and will not be wearing it. And on this day, it happened to be Drago's birthday, so I gifted him our regular gift of coconuts, and the next day, he sent me a cycling shirt, which wasn't the best gift, but it's the thought that counts. Diva gifted me a palm casquette, I think it's called, and another bad one. For the second last gift, Bluebear gifted me a raincoat, and I actually do like the raincoats, and I think they are cute. And the last gift of the day was from Apple, and she gifted me full body tights, which is probably the worst way this day could have ended. And this is everything I was gifted for day 5, mostly clothing again. So now we are on day 6, the second last day, and I'm just getting all of my gifts ready to go. Antonio was the first villager I gifted today, and he gave me a kid's smock, which is like the 3rd or 4th one I've received so far. Next, Ketchup gifted me a garbage can, and I know this sounds like a bad gift, but I actually love any furniture item villagers gift me. And next up, Zoe gifted me a short pea coat, which ended up being a pretty decent gift. Next was Apple, who gifted me a school uniform with necktie, which I would have passed on. Tangy gifted me a fishing vest, which I actually found cute surprisingly. Like, it's kind of cute. Bluebear gifted me a baseball cap, and I don't really love most of the hats, including this one. Diana gifted me a cute red tile flooring, and again, I'm happy with anything that's not clothing. Next, Sherb gifted me the green blossoming wall, which is actually one of my favorite walls in the game, so I was really happy about this one. Diva gifted me a hose reel, which again, another furniture item, and I'm happy with it. It'll be useful for some of my builds. And finally, Drago gifted me double bridge glasses. This will actually be the last gift with Drago because he actually asked to move away yesterday. So, bye Drago. So I'm just getting all my gifts ready for the final time on the 7th day. First, Zoe gifted me a cafe uniform, which is a pretty cute clothing item. I don't mind it compared to others. Ketchup gifted me a giant ribbon, which is also kind of cute, but I don't usually wear them. Tangy gifted me a matin pushi, which I don't typically use, but I will take it. Antonio gifted me a safety helmet with lamp. Just what I expected coming from him, wouldn't expect anything less. Bluebear gifted me a pop-up toaster, which is actually really cute and my favorite color of this item. Sherb gifted me a coatigan, and it is also a decent item to receive. I'm not mad about it, it's kind of cute. Diana gifted me a plain do-rag, which is also a great item. I will always take one of these, and they are very useful to have. Apple gifted me a mesh cap, which I don't really like, but like many other gifts, I guess it could be worse. And finally, closing it out with a great gift, Diva gifted me a knit hat, and in a great color. I love it. After 7 days of gift giving, I received 5 wallpaper and flooring items, 12 furniture items, and a whopping 52 clothing items, meaning roughly 75.4% of all the items I received were clothing. For me, this just means after I receive a photo from a villager, I probably won't continue gifting them because I feel like I do not need any more clothing items in my storage.